Well, there was no easing your way back from the break for the Calgary Flames here tonight. Welcome to Game Over, brought to you by McDonald's from the Big Apple in New York. The first of a 4-game road trip tonight against the New York Rangers. And what a wild ride it was here this evening. A game that had a little bit of everything, some goals, some fights, some big hits as well. Let's go back to the first period. It was 1-1 after one. Filipino got the Rangers on the board first. He was the first goal of the game. Blake Coleman, though, would tie it. That line was really good for the Calgary Flames here tonight. They'd combine for 6 points. Coleman sticks with it, scores his 11th of the season. It was 1-1 after one. But also in that first period, Jacob Trouba laid, he was a storyline throughout this hockey game. Had a couple of really big hits. One of them in that first period would lead to a fight. Chris Tanev comes to the defense of his teammate Dylan Dubé, which Dubé talked about after the game. Appreciated seeing that. Tanev scraps with Trouba, so they both go off for some extended time. 1-1 after one. Second period would start the way the first one would as well. Filipino scores again. This one a breakaway goal. His second of the game would make it 2-1, but once again the Flames would have an answer. This one comes on the power play, and it comes from Tyler Toffoli. Walks in, scores his 19th goal of the season. That is now tied for the team lead in goals with 19, tied it up at 2, but once again the Rangers would retake the lead. So they would lead this hockey game 3-2 after 40 minutes, and then we would still continue to buckle up. A couple of scraps in that second period as well. Third period, much more of the same. Another big Jacob Trouba hit. This one as well was responded to by a Calgary Flame, and that would be Dylan Dubé. He scraps with Trouba, his second fight of the game for Trouba, and yet another storyline that would wrinkle throughout all of this. But the Calgary Flames, well, they were tenacious throughout all of this in overcoming not one, not two, but 3 one-goal leads. In that third period, they would score to tie it up. Andrew Mangiapane, a lengthy review, but they determined it was deflected in. That tied it up at 3, and then just 2:03 later, Michael Stone scores on a slap shot to give them their first lead of the game. But Mika Zibanejad, he had a pair of goals for the Rangers in this hockey game, would tie it later in the third period. Off to overtime we go, where the difference was Alexis Lafreniere scores to win it for the Rangers. 5-4 the final here tonight, but a lot of positives for the Calgary Flames and something they can build on for the rest of this road trip, which continues later this week in Detroit.